Everybody, it's the Macabre Tavern back with day number 13. That's right, we've made it to 13 days of Halloween on our 31-day trek. And today, it's all about Stephen King. And I have to do my favorite Stephen King adaptation, The Running Man. A lot of people probably had thought I was going to go somewhere else with this, but no, we got to do this because this is one of the most underrated movies I think that Stephen King has. Now, The Running Man, by 2017, the United States had become a totalitarian police state. Following a worldwide economic collapse. Wow. Stephen King nearly predicted 2008, didn't he? The government pacifies the populace through violent television shows, the most popular being The Running Man, which criminals fight for their lives as runners fleeing from an armed stalker mercenaries to earn a government pardon and a tropical vacation. Captain Ben Richards, who is played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, a police helicopter pilot, observes an unarmed food riot in Bakersfield, California. He's ordered to fire on them and subsequent but refuses and is subdued by his colleagues. The media blames Richards for shooting 60 people and he's sent to a prison labor camp. 18 months later, he escapes with two resistance fighters, Harold Weiss and William Laughlin, finding refuge in their camp led by their leader, Mick. The resistance group looked to hijack the ICS broadcast network's uplink facilities to expose the government's lies. Richards declines to help and heads to his brother's apartment. He finds that Amber Mendez, a composer, now occupies it, and that his brother has been sent to a re-education camp. Yeah. With her security travel pass, Richards takes Mendez hostage to flee to Hawaii, but is arrested at the airport. Mendez alerts security. Meanwhile, ICS CEO and Running Man host Damian Killian, played by Richard Dawson, yes, becomes enamored with Richard's physical prowess and notorious reputation as a murderous madman. He coerces Richards to participate in the show. Survey says, yeah, he's going to do it. Threatening to send Laughlin and Weiss instead, Mendez sees a news report stating that Richards shot at people at the airport, which she knows is a lie. As the game begins, Richards is rocket sledded into the game zone, which turns out to be an abandoned part of Los Angeles, which is divided into 4 quadrants. Killian reneges on his deal and also sends Laughlin and Weiss into the game. They are first attacked by Sub-Zero, but Richards garrotes him with a section of razor wire fencing, the first time a stalker has ever died on the show. Mendez, I should say, finds the original unedited footage of the Bakersfield massacre before she is caught and sent into the game herself. Killian deploys 2 stalkers, Buzzsaw and Dynamo, to hunt the 4 runners. Weiss realizes the underground resistance has been searching for the government uplink station in the game show area. Dynamo electrocutes Weiss, but just as he cracks the satellite security, Mendez has memorized the access code. Buzzkill mortally wounds Laughlin, but Richards bisects Buzzsaw with his chainsaw. Yeah, say that 3 times fast. Dynamo is then incapacitated by Richards, who spares the stalker live on air. Laughlin tells Richards that the resistance has a hidden base in the arena before dying of his wounds. Off the air, Killian offers Richards a position as a stalker, in which, of course, Richards refuses. While hunted by Fireball, a flamethrower-wielding stalker in a jetpack, Mendez finds the corpse of the show's alleged past winners. Yeah. And revealing that the show's all false. Richard saves Mendez and kills Fireball by sabotaging his gas tank and setting him alight with a road flare. Immediately afterwards, the pair stumbles into Mick's command center. With viewership now cheering for Richards, Killian asks Captain Freedom, played by Jesse the Body Ventura, a retired stalker and a fan favorite, to join the hunt, when Captain Freedom refuses to fight using mechanical weaponry. Instead, with his bare hands, the network doctors the old footage to portray Richard and Mendez being killed by Captain Freedom. Mendez and Richards see this on TV. Richards warns Mendez that the government will hunt them to silence them and is now convinced to attack the ICS building with the resistance members. Using the access codes, they broadcast the original footage of the Bakersfield massacre and the deceased runners to expose Killian and the government's lies. As the resistance fighters battle ICS security forces, Dynamo tries to, well, do bad things to Mendez, but her gun triggers the building sprinkler system, and, well, Dynamo is no more. Richards then confronts Killian, who desperately pleads that the show appeases the public's lust for violence. Richard forces Killian into a rocket power sled and puts him in the game zone. The sled crashes through Killian's billboard image and explodes, killing him. As the audience celebrates, Richards reunites with Mendez, departing the studio as the broadcasting network goes down. So there you go. Yes. Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course, is Captain Ben Stewart. Maria Conchino Alonso is Amber Mendez. Richard Dawson, like I said, is Damien Killian. Yaphet Kello is William Laughlin. Jesse Labate Ventura is Captain Freedom. Jim Brown, yes, that's right, the NFL legend himself, is Fireball. Erlen Van Lith is Dynamo. Marvin J. McIntyre is Harold Weiss. Gus Ricewich is Buzzsaw. Professor Turo Tanaka is Professor Sub-Zero. Mick Fleetwood is Mick. And we could go through just about everything, but that's the long list of casting. Did not do very well in the theaters, but I mean, it's always been kind of a, cult favorite. Some would even argue that the video game Smash TV actually was inspired by The Running Man. And Paramount says they're going to make a new film about this. It has not come out yet. April 2024. Glenn Powell says they're going to star in the remake. Production is scheduled to begin in November of 2024. So there we go. Katie O'Brien has joined the cast as well. All right. So that will do it for day number 13. We did The Running Man today. We'll see what we'll get up to tomorrow.